So, just taking a step back. So, social AI. How would we define social AI? Social AI would be,
Yeah. In this
uh, yeah.
Yeah, in this case, for this paper, our definition is very specifically bots, AI bots that are designed for some sort of social relationship and companionship.
Okay.
So not social AI like, oh, you might, the UK has deployed some sort of bot to be a participant in the NHS therapy, right?
Okay.
Not that. That's meant to be a professional. It's meant to be run by a business for a specific purpose. And while it achieves social goals, it's not but commercially marketed as social AI.
Okay.
So we're talking about companies like Replica, Character AI,
That
and a couple
anyone could
others.
do an account,
That's right.
and yeah, and it starts free, and then there's, I suppose, right?
Some of them start free. Then some of them do
Some
not
of them
start free.
just start
Yeah,
with
yeah.
okay, okay.
Right. So how much are you going to pay to be in a friendship? Which is a hilarious
Oh
question because,
man.
right, like, listen, I go out with my friends and it costs me money sometimes, right?
Okay.
Like, or we
Yeah,
go out and I
yeah,
like
yeah.
somebody will buy a round of drinks, and so it's like no human relationship is totally without some sort of exchange.
Interesting point. Yeah, yeah.
But like
But
I
you don't give them
often
money
not
like
held hostage by that by a company.
yeah. Yeah, that would be like a shrink, like a psychiatrist that you go and pay
Right,
and
it is
then
a very uneven exchange. Yeah,
exactly.
they're not giving me money,
I suppose
so
yeah, exactly. Some
they're never
people
buying the round. So I
there
don't
we
know.
go. Yeah. Some people see them as friends perhaps.
They
And
definitely
how did
do.
you get
Yeah,
interested in this? Like how long back
yeah,
could you trace this interest? Because we all I mean research is really connected to who we are, I believe.
100%.
Like out of all of the possibilities, there's some that we choose and some that we ignore.
Yeah,
Why do you think is that in your case?
yeah. Many years ago, when I first got into IT, it was via social work. So my first career job, not my first job like a teenager, but my first real like full time job was in child welfare in vocational rehab in California, and then child welfare
Wow.
in Oregon, in the United States. And so I was in essentially social work before I was in technology. And then I decided that was not the place for me. I did not have the patience for that. I was going to end up in prison for murdering people.
It's stressful. Oh,
People are monsters. So, I
wow.
learned two or
Wow.
three things very young through, life lessons and my first careers. And one is people are not always good.
Yeah,
And in
yeah.
fact, some of them are properly horrifying. And
Mm.
two, technology can be used as a weapon, right? Like, so the second I went into technology from social work, it was essentially rebuilding the data structures behind child welfare information tracking. So statistics about child
Information
abuse,
technique.
statistics about foster
Oh my
care,
god. Oh my god.
statistics about adoption and services that are being provided. And my questions were always like, what are you going to do with this data? And that was 30 years ago, right? So,
They were just accumulating,
yeah.
and they weren't really speaking about the intentions.
Well, and yeah, it was a long time ago, right? So like data surveillance wasn't a thing. They
Yeah,
just thought
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
more information we have,
yeah, yeah.
the better job we'll do allocating funds or like allocating money to things that work versus things that don't work. Or it was kind of,
In the name
I'm
of
going to say early
efficiency.
days,
Yeah,
especially in government work,
yeah, and good use of
of
resources and all.
yeah,
Yeah,
analytics. And so,
analytics.
yeah, that's how I started. And then went into tech from there and then into always in roles that were sort of advising regarding emerging tech is to how a business might bring that in and what difference it might make. So in early jobs, even in industry, so when I went in and was working in the financial services industry at an insurance company, one of my like side gigs in my main role was to go talk to the legal department, be like, hey, one day phones will be able to tell you where your people are. Do you want to know that? Like, think about it.
Ooh. Jesus.
Ponder that.
Yeah, they're like, where do I sign?
Yeah, well, and like, what is the implication for like claims processing? Can we track where people are? Is that ethical? Like,
Okay,
go
okay,
talk
there we
amongst
go.
yourselves.
Yeah.
So that's always been sort of what I do. But I suppose AI officially, I got interested in kind of the social implications. Um, that first program I did at Oxford. So
Okay.
my final project in the strategy and innovation program
Mm-hmm.
was essentially about the fact that the strategic frameworks that we use, right, that business uses and applies, whatever they are, you know, five forces or business model canvases or even scenario thinking and futures planning, um, just are not prepared for the pace of change that technology introduces into society
Mm.
and doesn't force companies to really think about how humanity changes. They just think about how your business model changes without really forcing that extreme look outside. And so my first paper was kind of a, hey, here's 5 impacts that AI could have on humans. One of them was preferring AI conversation, choosing AI friends
That
and
was your
conversations.
first paper in
Yeah.
Oxford.
Yeah,
At
like 9
Oxford,
years
yeah.
ago.
Okay, wow.
Prefer 8 years? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
Potentially preferring machine conversation or relationships to human ones. And what are you going to do about that? Like, what does that mean to a business model for whoever, a bank, a retail company, whoever it might be. So ever since then, I was just in the mud, really, if you will.
And it's only gotten like more like open, like and I don't see it coming back,
Yeah, I
at
don't know.
least for, not in the foreseeable future.
Not unless
You know?
something drastic happens, I don't think.
Yeah. What do you think would have to happen? Because I would love for people to be more conscious
Yeah.
about what is happening, because like I was talking to a friend, like it's different what we feed to like Google or like even Instagram than what we feed to like ChatGPT. Like it's a different quality of data. It's a different
Yeah.
category. Like so I know people that just put in their medical stuff in there, and they ask like, so what do you think? And then some other people just post their legal documents
Yeah.
and like their contracts, and they're, so what should I do? It's like we would never put that in Google.
Right. Right.
Maybe some people do, but
Maybe some people do now that Gemini's out there. But
yeah,
yeah.
now the Gemini's out there. Yeah, because when we say Google now, it's the same.
Notebook LM.
I
Right
meant,
in your Google
yeah,
account.
that's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Now it's everything, but I meant in the classical
Yeah, for sure.
search.
Yeah.
Of course they could infer from questions, but it's a different thing to post like your actual exams from. So what do you think could happen for it to dial back a bit?
In my mind, there's like 3 areas of thing that could happen. One, the courts could make some decisions about these foundation models, which they haven't yet, right? Like there's still open lawsuits from authors, actors, artists that are about like essentially the content in the model and whether people had the rights to use it at all. All those lawsuits that were started
Yeah,
when we
remember
started the program
they're still.
are still active.
Oh my God.
None of them are settled. At least last time I looked, probably a few weeks ago. So
Yeah.
something could happen with those. I doubt it. I expect what would happen with those, if anything, is there would be some sort of financial implication. But it's not like the models are going to go up in smoke or people are going to make them redo them, right? Like too much money has been infused into the system for people to probably undo it. Even though these tools are not like integral to our lives yet, right? Like, so if you're going to do it, in my mind, do it now.
Do it as quick as.
But
yes,
the money has been spent,
yes.
and people get really into that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I think there could be a bit of a reckoning on some sort of impact. So I think we're just now starting to kind of realize and have pretty strong opinions about children and social media.
Yeah.
Something like that, or maybe an add-on to that, could occur. I hear.
Do you think we, as people that are researching this, or like we, the general public?
I think there has to be. Much like my old job, laws change or things happen when something unspeakably horrible happens.
Okay.
And so while some unspeakably horrible things have been happening, right? Like there's been, in fact, I think the family won their case about the social AI that the teenager was using, and then
took
his own life.
Yes, yes.
I think it would have to be a few of those sort of incidences that seemed very clear and obvious about what was happening and what the recommendation from the social AI was, or maybe a large-scale impact. There's recently a couple really interesting articles, and actually Pri has done some work on kind of the religion of AI.
Yeah,
and
the ideologies.
There
and
being some huge ideological shift that people kind of notice that is harmful. I think something like, cult leader type stuff.
Yes,
that
Pri is
could come
coming
up.
soon to the podcast.
Yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
to talk about that. Yeah.
There's some interesting work on that.
Yeah.
So something like that, some big unpleasant event or some big legal event. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Actually, Italy just not shut down, not sued, because that's not what it's about. I think they're fining Replica for not, and I'm going to misquote this terribly, so I apologize. Please don't sue me, nobody. The country Italy is fining Replica, or at least submitting to them a complaint that could result in a fine if they cannot prove the protections they take to safeguard conversations with both minors and vulnerable populations. I think that's in the gist of
Okay.
the
Okay.
language. So things like that could result in interesting outcomes or findings. But I think also socially, like there is a loneliness problem, right? Like we are
Yes.
kind of in a weird spot. People are in a weird spot, and so
Yeah.
if there's a pull, right, there will be companies that meet the need, and so we have to also find a way to not have that be such a strong need
Mm-hmm.
for it
Mm-hmm.
to change.
Yeah.